Hey, what's up guys? So in this video we're gonna take a quick look at the new Fuji X-T1. So I'm pretty sure if you guys follow the world of photography on the internet, you pretty much heard of this camera. It's very high, it has a very high anticipation, and for good reason. This is my first Fuji camera. I never bought into the system until I saw the spec of this one, and you know, I was pretty exciting. So anyway, I picked this up at Sammy's yesterday. So I just want to make a quick video sharing with you guys my first thought. So let's get right to it. I'm gonna go ahead and skip the unbox section because you guys don't really care what's in the box. You get the same stuff as the rest of the camera. You do get a flash, so just an FYI. So this is the Fuji X-T1. It's APS-C size sensor. It has a 16 megapixel size sensor, just like the one on the XE2. But this one, obviously, they modified it a little bit for the autofocus system. So this is the kit version. So this lens right here, you're looking at 18 to 55 with an aperture of 2.8 to 4, which is pretty fast for a kit lens. And the build quality, I must say, when I first held this lens, it feels very solid. It's metal, it's cold, it's very good quality. And since this is my first Fuji camera and also lens, I love how they put the aperture ring on all the lenses. It's so awesome. And you get the zooming action and focus ring. This lens also has optical image stabilizer, which is one of the reasons I got this lens. I figure it's a pretty good kit lens because it has a pretty fast aperture, and people say the quality is actually pretty good. Here you have a switch that lets you go into P mode, or you can you can select, and you go into aperture priority mode, where you can select your own aperture. So that's the lens. The body itself, I actually was very surprised of how small this body is. From the picture, and what I thought was that it's gonna be a little bit bigger, but actually it's like smaller than the X Pro 1. So it's a pretty compact body. Right away, the first thing I noticed is that it has so many dials. You have this dial right here, you have a dial under that, you have this dial right here, and a dial under that. You have another dial right here, front dial, back dial. So it has a bunch of different dial. So on the left hand side, you have your diopter adjustment, so you can adjust that. This dial right here is actually your ISO dial. You can put on auto, or you can go to low. So to switch this, it has a lock, so you have to press it and then rotate it, and it does go into a third of a stop. So we can go down to automatic ISO. Right under that, which you can switch by this little lever on the front, you get your speed mode, so you can go continuous high, continuous low, or single. Right under that, you have your playback button and a delete button. Okay, on the front, on that same side, you have a PC sync port, so you can connect to your studio strobe. Right here is when you select a single point autofocus, or continuous autofocus, and manual autofocus. So very convenient. I really like the layout. Auto control is pretty much at your fingertip. On the back, you have an LCD screen. This is a 3-inch LCD screen. I think about 1 million dot, and it's tunable. It's tempered glass, so it's pretty strong and durable. This camera is weather seal. The lens is not, which is a bummer. I think this lens should have made into a weather seal lens. Just because, you know, you're shipping a weather seal body, but not, you know, without a weather seal lens. It's kind of, but that's that. This is the EVF. Obviously, this is the main selling point of this camera. This camera currently has the biggest EVF from any company. This view, when you look through this viewfinder finder, you're gonna see a giant EVF screen. Like, it's really big and super clear. This is amazing. I looked through. I had the EM1, I had the Sony A7. Those are supposed to be pretty good, but this is to another level. It's very nice. On this side, you have view mode. So when you press it, it'll switch between LCD and EVF. It give you different setting. You have your AEL lock button and an AF lock button. So they separate these two buttons. This dial right here is your shutter dial, so you can be in automatic shutter, or you can manually change your shutter speed. Maximum shutter speed on this camera is 1/4000. You have another custom function button here and a custom function button here. Your exposure compensation dial is right here, of course, and your shutter on-off switch and record button. This dial one, and then also you have a dial in the front, right there. You have this dial in the back. I don't ever use it. Same thing with this dial in the front. With traditional DSLR, obviously you changing your shutter speed and aperture, but since they're putting everything into a dial and your aperture is right here, I really don't ever use these two dial. Right here you have a focus assist. I find this pretty useful. You can hit it and then punch into 100% view, so you can actually get pretty good accurate autofocus. Right here you have a quick control. It lets you access. This 4-way dialer thing is horrible. When you press it, it has no response feedback. It's kind of like, it reminded me of the OMD EM5. I think it's because of the weather sealing aspect. So this button kind of like, you don't know if you're pressing it or not, and it's pretty crappy. Even the middle button, it's like, it sucks. Display back button, so as you press it switches to a different display. And on this side, obviously you have your regular SD card slot, and your battery goes down right here. So you can switch this. The battery life is not that great on this camera. I think it's gonna give you like about 350 shots also, so it's not that great. But yeah, that's pretty much the layout of this camera. Of course, you have your flash. It goes on top here. So let me go ahead and turn this on real quick and show you guys what this looks like. So this is the viewfinder. I'm currently, like I said, I'm in P mode because this is A and this is also in A. The menu of Fuji camera, I'm not a big fan of the menu system. For some reason it looks so confusing to me. I guess because this is my first Fuji camera, so I don't get used to the way they set up the menu, but it seems like they list every single thing out in a list kind of order. So when I need to find something, I have to go through, like, I don't know exactly where it's at. Like over here, all you see is a bunch of camera and then setting. That's it. It doesn't indicate what is gonna be in number 3 or what's gonna be in number 5. So you sort of have to like remember them or something. It does have Wi-Fi, so that's why you can connect to your smartphone and tablet and stuff. That's pretty cool. It does have peaking also, so you can have peaking when you manually focus, or it has a new mode called digital split image, where it's actually gonna when you look through this EVF, it's gonna reduce the actual side of it, and then it have right next to it, it has a little square that show you 100% view of whatever you're focusing on. Also, when I first got it, I didn't know how to move this focus point, and I realized that you actually have to press a button before you can move it. Unlike the EM1, you can just move the dial and then you can select the focus point. But the one convenient thing is that I actually set this button right here in the front to be a focus point selector. So when I shoot, I would just press this, and it will pop up, and I would just select, where I want to put my focus point. and you can make it bigger or smaller, so that's very nice. When you press the quick button, like I said, it will bring you up this screen where you can access, a few different options, like your picture profile or your aspect ratio, and you can, and you change it with this back button right here. So right now I'm in single point, I turn it, now it's in multi-point selector, and back to single point, and that's pretty much how you get around it. The autofocus on this camera, the reason I never bought into the Fuji system is because I really like the X Pro 1, but right when I was about to go get it, that camera, a lot of people said the autofocus sucked, and which it did until recent firmware. So I never bought into the system. But this camera, I took some test shot yesterday. I have to say the autofocus is a lot better. It's really good now. It's actually on par with the rest of the Sony camera. I would say it's not as fast as Olympus. I mean the EM1 and those kind of camera. It's just amazingly fast. Even the EP3 focus very fast. This camera is also focused very fast, but just not as fast as the Olympus, in my opinion. One thing I love about Fuji, this sensor, is the low light performance. The low light performance on this camera, I was shocked. You can actually use, you get usable shot all the way up until 12,800. You can actually use those kind of shot, and that's, to me, it's very rare. I took a shot at ISO 6400 and it looks so clean. I was shocked that it was that clean, and obviously it dated back into the X Pro 1. You get that kind of result with the X Pro 1 already. So image quality wise, it's not really a big jump from the X Pro 1 to this one. Fujifilm has always delivered very good image. What separates this camera from the rest of the Fuji lineup is that the autofocus system and the EVF. This is to me, this feels like a very complete camera. So I think that to a lot of people that wanna switch system or always love Fuji glass, now would be a good time just because of this camera. And we know Fuji has a very attractive lens lineup. Like their prime lenses are awesome. You have a 23 f1.4, you have a 35 f1.4, and then you soon gonna have a 56 f1.2, which is, in my opinion, a must-have lens if you're shooting this system for portrait. And also you can also add a battery grip onto this camera, so you can hold it vertically more comfortable. The grip is also pretty comfortable. It's not as good as the A7 grip because it's not as deep, but it's pretty grippy. Like even without a strap, you don't feel like you're gonna drop it or anything like that. So it's pretty comfy. So yeah, this is just some of my quick thought about this camera. I will do a lot more testing, obviously, with various lenses, and I will make another video go into more details. But for now, from what I see based on my test shot last night, I was very impressed with this camera, and I would totally recommend this camera to a lot of people, especially the people that always wanted to switch over to a Fuji system. I think that this now is a good time to do that because this camera is very good. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and make sure you guys like and subscribe. If you have any question, please leave on the comment below, and I will try to address them as soon as possible. So again, thank you guys.